Hello, my name's Sarah and I work for Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust, and I'm just going to make this video today because I'd like to show you a really simple activity that you could have a go at doing yourself at home. So it's an activity that we do with some of our children when they come to visit our cow Molly farm with us, which is one of the trips that we do with schools and with families actually. So what you'll need to do this activity at home yourself is you'll need first of all some double cream. It's really important that it is double cream and not single cream. You'll need a sieve, or possibly a colander might work as well, but a sieve would be best if you can get hold of one. A bowl of some sort, or just something that will catch the liquid, and you'll also need a tub of some sort as well. So I've got one here that's got a screw-on lid. What's really important is that the lid is on securely, so the Tupperwares that you get that have the clip down sides are quite good, but one that just has a press on lid maybe not so great. You'll find out why in a little while. Okay. So what I need first of all is to pour a little bit of my double cream into my tub. And a little trick for you is to make sure that the double cream hasn't come straight out of the fridge. It will take a really long time to do if you've taken it straight out of the fridge. Now what we're doing today is we're actually making butter. Okay, so we're going to turn this double cream into butter. I'm going to give you a bit of a challenge. So if you look at what time it says on the video at the moment, and that is when I've started shaking. Okay, because that's what we need to do to turn our cream into butter, and I want to see if you can do it in a similar time to me, or maybe even faster. The way that we do this when we're working with children and families up at the farm is we have lots of people in the group and we pass it round so that everyone gets a go at shaking. Now what you'll notice when you start shaking is, first of all, it starts making a sloshy sound, which it's already done, and then it goes quiet. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this on the video, but I'll shut up. So it's not making any sound at the moment, and that's because it's already gone to being like similar to whipped cream. The difference that it's got to whipped cream at the moment is when you're whipping cream, it's taking on air. So this won't puff up like whipped cream, but it's still gone quite solid. Now what we're waiting for next is for it to start making a sloshy sound. So the process that we're doing at the moment is basically separating the buttermilk from the butter fat, and it's the butter fat that we eat as butter. So that's what we're doing, and the process of shaking it is going to separate it. So the cream I've got in here has actually come from the Our Cow Molly farm, which is one of our partners that we have within the Sheffield Lakeland Landscape Partnership. That's a project that we're really heavily involved with, and it's a Heritage Lottery funded project. There's loads of little projects going on in that area, so have a look on our website and have a look at what's going on, because I'm sure there's lots of things that will interest you if you're not already involved. And Our Cow Molly is a partner that we've been working with for about a year and a half, taking children up to the farm. One of the reasons why we really like doing it is because we find it's a really good way to show children, and adults for that matter, where their food comes from, where dairy comes from in particular, because that's what they make up there. And Our Cow Molly is quite unique in the Sheffield area because they're the only farm that actually process all of their own milk, so they don't send any of it away to be processed, they do it all on site. They also make ice cream on the farm as well, and they make their own butter like we're doing now, although not this way. They've got big machines that do that for them, because it'd take a very long time to do it this way. And what makes them unique is that they've basically cut down the supply chain, and this is one of the things that we talk to children about on our school visits. So if you're lucky enough to have already been up to the farm, or perhaps you could come for a visit sometime, you'll find out about the benefits of them having cut down their supply chain. I debated before I started this video whether to lock my chickens away, so you might see them making an appearance in the background, so apologies for that. special appearance from the chickens. So some of the benefits of having a shorter supply chain. See if you can think about it at home, what those benefits might be. So one of the things it means is that they have a lot less transportation involved. So they deliver all of their milk themselves. Whereas what more conventional dairy farms do is they have big lorries, big trucks come and collect the milk, and that will collect milk from multiple different farms in the area. So it'll all mix up in the back of the wagon, and then they'll take that to a big factory where the milk will be pasteurised, and then it will be bottled, and then it will be taken to a distribution centre, and that's where it will be picked up by more lorries to be taken to the supermarkets, where it's then available for us to buy. So if you think about how long that process takes for a start, it means that of course the milk that we're then buying isn't as fresh, but also it means that that milk has had loads of transportation involved, which releases carbon. All those lorries need to be fuelled, usually by diesel and things like that, which isn't very good for our environment. So we think that, you know, businesses like our cow molly, whatever they're producing, whether it's dairy, whether it's anything else, we really like the idea of it being local and having less transport involved. It can only be a good thing for the future. So what I'm listening out for when I'm making my butter is for it to start making a sloshy sound, which I'm starting to hear now. So I'm starting to feel a little bit more movement in there than when it was in its sort of whipped cream stage. And you might start hearing it as well, starting to slosh around. So if you do have a go at doing this at home, remember that you are working with food, especially if you plan to eat it. So make sure that you do wash your hands really, really well before you start doing it. So before you start getting any of the equipment ready that you're going to use, make sure you really well wash your hands before and after. So I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera, and I'm going to be really quiet, and I want you to listen really carefully and see if you can hear a bit of sloshing. Making a little bit of noise already. So at this stage, when it started making noise, I'm afraid you just got to carry on. So there's only one of me shaking this at the moment. Remember what I said at the start about us having like a whole room full of people when we're up at the farm. So I don't normally do this on my own, and it's quite hard work actually. I'm quite thankful that when I'm at the farm I've got lots of other people to help me. So we usually pass it around the room, and everyone has a little go at shaking it, and everyone's listening really intently. So I can hear it going already. So I'm going to keep going until it's sloshing even more. Starting to go. So it's a really nice process to do at home, just seeing it go, being able to turn it from one product to another. So I've not added anything to this. It is just double cream that I've put in there. And the double creams come from the milk. So when we get the milk from the cows, the milk is then put into a machine that spins it really, really fast. And the centrifugal force of it, that's a long word, see if you can look it up and find out what that means if you don't already know. And the force of it basically pushes out, first of all, the really thin milk, so that's like the red topped milk, the skimmed milk, and then you'd get the semi-skimmed milk come out, like your green top milk. And then your full fat milk, and then your single cream would come out, and then eventually your double cream, which has got the highest fat content, and that's what makes it so thick. And that's why we can only use the double cream to make the butter, because it's the only dairy product that's got enough butter fat in it for us to take out to create the butter. So it's starting to slosh around a lot more in there now, so I can hear it starting to separate. And that's basically the process that we're making happen at the moment. Just separating that buttermilk from that butter fat. don't forget to help each other out of this. You can do this maybe as a family and see if you can come up with a butter making dance. And we'd love to hear how long it's taken you to turn into butter as well. See if you can beat my time. So don't forget to have a look, maybe check what time I started shaking it and see what time I end up finishing, which shouldn't be too long now. It's starting to go. So if you don't already follow us on Facebook and the like, it's worth looking us up, especially if you've got young children, which you might be doing this with now. We do lots of outdoor activities with young children. We work a lot with schools, taking them on trips, a lot of habitat studies and woodland activities. And keep an eye out for the things that we're going to be putting out on our social media over the coming weeks to hopefully keep you busy, hopefully give you ideas of things to do. We've got quite a lot of experts within Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust which are going to be sharing their knowledge with you over the coming weeks, so do listen out for that. Just going to shoo the curious chickens away. Just going to put that near so you can hear it. So that's what I'm looking for, that's the sound. Not every day I get interrupted by a chicken. So I'm just going to try and show you that. I don't know if you can see in there without tipping it out. You can see the sort of solid content and watery content, and that's what I'm looking for. So now I'm going to tip it out into the bowl. See all that trickling out. So that's the buttermilk that's just come out there. And then it might take a bit, oh, there we go, big solid lump. And that's my butter. Just show you what it looks like in there if I can. Can you see that in the sieve there? So that's all my butter. So it's really, really solid lumps. It looks a little bit like scrambled egg. It's not scrambled egg, it's definitely butter. Now, a couple of things to note with this butter is I've not gone through the full process that I might do if I was going to keep the butter for a long time. So the butter that you buy from a supermarket has definitely been like properly dried out, so all the buttermilk has been completely taken out of it, and that's what helps to preserve it. We've not done that process with this, so this will probably last a couple of days or so in your fridge, so make sure you use it up by then. And I've just got an oat cake here that you can have it on, and you can put all that hard work into hopefully some tasty butter to try at home. So hopefully that gives you something to have a go at home. And if you're interested in the process, it might be worth just having a look online, have a look at learning resources and see if you can find out why does shaking make the butter separate from the buttermilk, and find out a little bit about maybe life on the farm, and have a look at the Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust Facebook page and just see what's going on there as well, because hopefully there'll be a lot of exciting things coming up. And enjoy your butter.